Hey, and welcome to a further development of the Synth, the synthesizer I'm slowly building based on the Synth boards. So, the fact that the VCO worked so well has given me a lot of energy to go forward with the synth, now that I have the time. I have a bit of free time these days, and so I'm trying to get as much done as I can before my time goes away. And so what I've got here is 4 circuits I'm going to be etching in the next couple of days. I ordered some ferric chloride. I didn't really want to, but I did because it'll just make things a lot easier, and then I'll handle this stuff very carefully. And so what I've got is the plans for an attack, decay, sustained release board, the blueprint or the layout for an AC/DC mixer here. I have the, what do you call it? Hang on. Wave folder. This is the wave folder. And over here I have a VC LFO. So what I'd like to do is make all of these boards for the synth. And I'm going to start by planning out how to use these copper boards efficiently. I've got a bunch of copper boards here. Some older ones here. And I'm going to iron them on, and I'll turn, and when I've done that, I'll come back and show you how it looks. I'm going to have to clean the boards; they're oxidized, and they could use a good scrub. So I'm going to scrub these boards down, clean them off, and show you what they look like with these ironed on. And when I get the ferric chloride, we'll etch them together. I've got the iron set up. I'm going to try to be careful with that because I don't want to ruin the iron. And I've got a firm board here, a nice plywood board, because this pad is too spongy. And then I've got here the first board I'm going to be doing. I brightened up the copper so it's nice and clean. Got all the fingerprints off and all the oxidation off. And before it comes back, because copper oxidizes really fast, I'm going to iron this. Now I'm using this paper towel to keep the surface of my iron, it's really warm, to keep the surface of my iron from getting damaged by tape and gunk and stuff, because you don't want to put that on your clothes. And that's actually our clothing iron. And so I'm going to iron here on a board, firm backing, and then I'm going to, once it's ironed on, I'm going to throw it in a sink of water to soak. And then I'll peel off the paper, and what will be left will be the copper traces, and we'll take a look at that. And hopefully this will work. I've never used this transfer paper before. I've used photocopy paper, photograph paper, but this is supposed to be really good. So I'm excited to try it. Yes, I am actually excited to try it. It doesn't take much to get me excited about stuff. Apparently, it takes a piece of paper. So here we are. Oh, and my iron's getting impatient. So we're going to use it. All right. All right. So here we are. I think it's on pretty well for this board. It's not coming up on the edges. It's pretty much glued onto the board. I can't get it off. So we're going to go and toss it into the sink and see if it's transferred. I didn't do any research on this paper, to be honest with you, so I'm treating it like photocopy paper or photograph paper. So I might be doing something wrong, but I think it's okay. So we're going to let that soak now for a little bit and see how it goes. I'll come back and we'll take a look at it later. So I thought I would show you the results of what happened, the etching. We have here the boards. 3 of them are a success, 1 of them is not. And I think I know why. Now, this is the wave folder board. Mostly a success. You have some broken traces here, which I can fix, no problem. And you have a couple of small broken traces here and there. Not a big deal. I can fix those. So this is a success. I don't have to do major repairs. This board worked completely. Completely. No problems at all. And that is the AC/DC mixer. This is the one I really like, the Attack, Decay, Sustained Release. It has a broken trace up here, as you can see, and then a couple of small ones here and there. but I consider it a success. Like, there's a broken trace here and a bit of a broken trace here, but I consider it an overall success because I don't have to recreate the whole board. This one was a dismal failure. It just did not work. I rushed it. I didn't iron it as much as I ironed the others. I also think that this has a bit of a strange coating on it, which means I probably didn't polish it enough, and so it really didn't work. And this is the which one is this? I think this is this the mixer board? No, this is the VC LFO. And the VC LFO I would like to have sometime, not super urgent right now, but I will go back and I'll scrub this off, clean it up, and redo it, and hopefully it'll work the second time around. Because this would be a really nice board to have in my synth. The board I was least concerned about was this one, and it, strangely enough, was the one that worked the best. This one I'm happy for. I'm really happy to have this one, and this one I'm really happy to have working. Seems like wavefolder and ADSR, very pleased that they worked mostly. This will be fun to have, and this one I will go back over. And I'm going to fix the traces with an old-fashioned way of doing it, and that is letraset, or in this case, mechanorama, which is a form of letter transfer system. These are old ones from back in the 80s that you use to transfer. And this is toner just like you'd get out of a laser printer, but it's on a rub-on system. So you rub this onto the missing parts and it fills in the gaps. So you could also use a Sharpie marker, but I like this system better. It's more familiar to me. So anyways, yeah, I will do that, and I will show you the fixed up versions of these boards. Alright folks, here's the 3 boards. I've cleaned them up and fixed them up, I think, to a good degree. And here's the ferric chloride. I finally got some. And I'm going to do this. Very simple. And that's just about it. You just pour it in until they're covered. And that's it. And then you let them sit. And wait until they're etched. And we'll come back in a little bit and see how it goes. It's a bit of a cold day, but it's also very warm in the sun. So I think this will go fairly quickly. Alright. Alright, so it's been about a half an hour. We're in of it sitting in the sun. And let's see how it's doing. Whoa, looks like it's done. Almost done, I think. Okay, that one has some copper on it still. This one looks finished. And this one looks really good. Let's get the water spritzer and take a look. Oh, there's still some copper on that one. Alright, I'll be right. Let's give it a quick spritz. Oh yeah, it's mostly done. Okay, another 5 minutes. Yep, that looks pretty good. That one looks really good. And this one looks pretty good too. As you can see where the toner is, it's still there. It's still copper there. When I take the toner off, you'll see that it's all copper. So that's looking pretty good. Alright, a few more minutes. Okay folks, here we are about half an hour to 45 minutes later. Even on a cold winter's day, the etch turned out really amazing and fast and good and all that. Here's the ADSR, or the wave folder. You can see it turned out sharp. There's some chewiness along the outside edge, but otherwise it is okay. The traces are all solid. There's no breaks. I'm happy. Here's the ADSR. Traces are all solid, no breaks. There's a bit of brokenness down here, easily fixed because that's the ground on the outside. Otherwise, it turned out pretty good. And here's the wave, the AC/DC mixer. It turned out good too. So it's a bit chunky at the top, but otherwise it turned out really, really well. And when I scrub off the black mask or get rid of that, you'll see how it looks underneath. But it'll look pretty much like this, only with copper. And then I can add components and finish these 3 modules for the synth. Turned out really well. So thank you, Synth, for doing this, for posting these for free. I am very happy. Turned out really good. So it went from that copper sheet, solid copper sheet, to that. I'm quite pleased. And I stored the ferric chloride safely away at the back of the shed, in a box, in a bag. So it should be safe where it is. Anyways, once I'm organized, I'll put it out of reach of people. So thank you for watching. I will show you what this looks like cleaned up, and then we'll assemble one of these boards. I think I'll do the ADSR first. What do you think? Should I do the wave holder first, or the ADSR? Or maybe the AC/DC mixer? I don't know. You tell me what you want. I'll go with that. And if nobody answers, then I'll go with the ADSR. Talk to you later.